Hello everyone, my name is Jorge Diaz, President and Founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing, and I bring you another episode of Defining Infusionsoft Success. As an Infusionsoft Certified Consultant, we're out there looking for solutions all the time, and a couple of months ago, I ran into a guy named Roy Shakund, who's with ScheduleOnce. And, there are other solutions that we've used in the past to schedule time on people's calendar. But there were some specific features that, solutions we'd used in the past didn't have. So, me and Roy started talking, and, it was interesting to see that there was another, very good solution there on the market for people to consider. And so Roy, had me reach out to, the CEO there, and we were able to get some time with him on our program. So welcome, Rami.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about ScheduleOnce? I'll be honest with you, I'm not that familiar except what I've heard from Roy. I am familiar with your solution. You guys have been kind enough to share, a license with me. Tell us a little bit about you guys, how you got into this market, and why Infusionsoft.
Okay, great. So we started back in 2006, almost 10 years ago. And initially the focus was on integration with Google Calendar. We were one of the first companies that had a deep integration with Google Calendar, and the idea was to extend Google Calendar and allow people to accept bookings from external parties.
So people could schedule time on your calendar. That's the idea,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yes, the integration that we had with Google Calendar was very deep at that time, much deeper than other companies had. We were also beta partners with Google in the Google Apps Marketplace, and it was a very good offering for Google Calendar, and that's how we started to get market traction. And then we just listened to customers, so they were asking for more features, and we added them. And at some point, we got many requests from Infusionsoft users to integrate with Infusionsoft. The real reason, we don't know what it is. We don't, until today, we have all sorts of speculations. We don't know why there are so many users in Infusionsoft that need schedule versus users in other applications that don't necessarily need so much scheduling. Maybe it's because it's service businesses or other segments, but we were getting many requests, and at some point we decided that it's time to respond to these requests and go for it.
Right, and I've been an Infusionsoft user for 5 years, and we're an Infusionsoft consultant now, 3.5 years, where our target audience is Infusionsoft, and I know that for myself and for a lot of customers, being able to not just schedule time on my calendar, but schedule time in my calendar and be able to automate that with Infusionsoft, and that's the value. I was really surprised to hear from Roy that you guys have had this solution around for going on 2 years now, right?
Yep, 2 years. It took us it took us some time to develop because...
I'm sure this was not a trivial integration.
Yeah, it's not trivial, and it took us time, and ScheduleOnce is a horizontal application, so it addresses many needs, different use cases, different types of businesses, and we had to take all the functionality that we have and make it available in Infusionsoft with integration.
So you mentioned earlier, so you guys have integration with Google Calendar, but now you guys also have integration with Exchange, Outlook, Office 365, correct?
Yes, now we've added all the calendars and iCloud also. So, that was early in the early days. It was only Google Calendar, but since then we've added all the calendars and we've added many integrations. And Infusionsoft is one of the important ones. We actually had two major releases. We had the first release 2 years ago, and we had Infusionsoft 2.0 with additional enhancements about 7 months ago.
Wow. Okay. So you guys now cover then just about any calendar. I guess 90% of the market of the calendars that people, could be using.
Yes,
once you got all the Microsoft platforms and the, the Googles.
Sunny Calendar, and also web conferencing integration. If you want to automatically include web conferencing like GoToMeeting or WebEx in the booking, that can be done as well. And of course, the integration with Infusionsoft is very deep. You can automatically create tags, booking life cycle tags and appointment-specific tags. We have functionality to create single sessions and also to create session packages where the user can book multiple sessions in one go. So it's a very deep integration.
So I can schedule multiple appointments at one time.
Yep, at one time, and you can still see them in Infusionsoft and have unique tags for each one. We developed the appointment-specific tags so that you can track the life cycle of each appointment. I mean, what we place a big focus on is not only the initial booking, but integrating the Infusionsoft for the entire booking life cycle. So if the appointment is cancelled or rescheduled, everything is up to date, and Infusionsoft is always kept in sync with whatever happens with the booking.
Nice. Now let me ask you, because now I'm thinking like a consultant, right? Because every once in a while we have a request that'll do something like, I want someone to pick a time on my calendar. Like maybe I have a number of coaches or something, and then I want to be able to pay for it. And then you grab an item on a calendar, and then I pay for it, and only then does it really finalize the transaction. Is that a use case that you guys cover?
We have a very big release coming up, ScheduleOne 7.5 in the beginning of July, and in this release we're adding payment integration.
Nice. So I'd be able to send people to like an Infusionsoft order form or something like that.
No, it's actually we are going to handle it outside of Infusionsoft. It's
Okay.
going to be handled with PayPal integration. So we'll have very tight integration with PayPal. Your customers will be able to pay via their PayPal accounts or via credit debit card as usual. So it gives you two payment methods, the cards and also PayPal. And the integration is for the entire the booking life cycle. So it's not only paying for the initial booking, but there's a cancellation and a reschedule policy that can automatically collect the reschedule fees and automatically make refunds in case of cancellations.
Okay, so those orders could go. So I notify Infusionsoft, and the assumption is if they made that kind of an appointment, then there was an order that was associated with it.
Yes. Yeah,
Nice.
automatically generate invoices, everything.
Wow, so that's pretty sophisticated. That I'm aware of, there isn't anything, that I'm aware of that does that kind of feature, in the Infusionsoft space. Do you think in the future you might be able to get Infusionsoft order forms, or at least the order being transferred over into Infusionsoft?
Possibly. So far, the feedback that we've had is that customers want to have a choice of payment methods. So,
Sure.
Being able to use PayPal, multiple currencies is sort of the top of the list. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll also get to integration with the Infusionsoft e-commerce site.
No, right. And in Infusionsoft, you don't have the multi-currency ability. That's just not built into that.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, anything else you think we ought to know about your solution?
The way we look at it, it's we invest a lot in the product. We're really focused. I can define us as a product company because we see the product as the most important asset, and we invest in the product. But we also invest a lot in customer service and support. We have a big team of customer success managers that onboard customers and provide support. Almost 7/24. You can always reach us over the phone or schedule consultations with us. We always use our own tool for that. So
Well, as a matter of fact, when I scheduled time with Roy and then with one of your success coaches and then this one, there was always that ScheduleOnce in there, which it's just a great way to promote your product.
Yeah, we need to provide a solution which is partly by product, partly by giving good support and service. So it's the entire package that we are offering.
Great. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I'm assuming it's very late there right now, right?
Not so much. I mean, we work around the clock, so we have people until 4 a.m. So
Right. But you're in Tel Aviv. Is that where you are?
yeah.
Great. Great. Well, thank you for staying up a little later than usual for our call. Working late. I appreciate your time, and I'll make sure to publish information about how people can reach you when we publish the blog. Okay.
Excellent. Sounds great.
Great. Hey, thank you so much for your time.